So you're paying into the FERS retirement system. Can you do anything with that money? Take a loan on it, withdraw it, etc. before you retire? If you've ever wondered about this question, then make sure you stay tuned for this FERS Federal Fact Check. Hi, I'm Micah Shilanski from Plan Your Federal Retirement, and welcome to this FERS Federal Fact Check. Today, we have a great question that's come in from Martin, and really a question I haven't seen too often. So congratulations, Martin, on thinking about this. Martin asks, can I take out a loan towards my FERS contribution? I'm a federal employee and nowhere close to retirement. Would it work like the TSP loan that I could take out and then pay back over a few years? I can't find any information on this topic. Martin, that's a really good question. So the short answer with this, then I'll get into some longer things that we need to be thinking about as well. The short answer is no. You cannot take out a loan from the federal government based on your FERS contribution. Now, what you're paying into the retirement system can depend on when you were hired, right? There was the CSRS, and that ended in 1983. Then it went to FERS, the Federal Employee Retirement System. That went in effect in 1987. For those of you paying attention, yes, there is a gap in time right there, right? Anyone hired after 83 should be in FERS, but FERS wasn't created until 1987. Then FERS went along just fine until about 2013-ish. And about 2013, they came out with, says, hey, we need to change up this retirement system. Federal employees got super active and says, you can't touch our retirement system. This is what you promised us. So Congress finally said, fine, we won't touch yours. We're going to touch any new employees. And they come out with the RAE system, Revised Annuitant Employee System, which is still the same FERS benefits, but they put more in. 1 year later, about 2014, they were like, oh, we didn't increase it enough. So they came with the FERS FRAE, FERS Further Revised Annuitant Employee, and that's going to increase in addition to that how much people pay in. So you're putting into your FERS retirement system every single pay period. Roughly 0.8% is what's deducted under normal FERS, more under RAE or FERS FRAE. More is put in, but you're putting in. Your agency is also matching, actually putting in more than what you put in into this retirement system. So you got to get this nest egg of money that you're building in here, but can you take a loan against it? The answer is no. Also, one of the things I'm a huge advocate of is, and I know I get some pushback and there'll probably be some comments on here about people saying, Micah, you're wrong. I ran this calculator and blah, 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 blah. You should do it differently. I'm a huge proponent of not taking a withdrawal of your FERS contributions. Now, please understand, we're talking about two different things, right? You have your FERS benefit. Now, your FERS benefit, FERS FRAE, FERS RAE, traditional FERS, it doesn't matter. And you have your TSP. These are two different systems, right? Your TSP is your money plus a match. Now, the match is also your money as long as you work for the federal government at least 3 years. And that's a defined contribution system, right? Defined contribution is what this is called. The government is defining how much you can put into the system. That's the maximum amount of the TSP, which is what, $23,000 this year plus a $7,500 catch-up. So a lot of money you could put into that TSP account. And they're limiting how much you can put in. Then you have another system, which is a defined benefit system. It's a bad B, sorry about that one. Defined benefit system under FERS. Now, the Federal Employee Retirement System says, hey, if you work with us for so long, we'll pay you X percentage of your high three, however long you live. So they're defining your benefit. They're not defining how much money can come in. So these are two different systems and how they're set up. In one system that you could have loans on, one system you can invest, etc. In the first system, you can't do that. You need to leave your money in the system until you retire. Now, you got to at least have 5 years. That's the minimum. You got to have 5 years in FERS in order to be eligible for some type of retirement at age 62. Could be sooner than that, depending on if you have more years and several other things come up. But what if somebody only works for the government for 3 years or 4 years or maybe 5 years? Maybe they work at 25 to 30. They're like, hey, I don't want to wait till 62 to take my money out. Send me a check today. They want to take a withdrawal of their FERS retirement. Can they do that? Yes. Should they do that? Probably not. Right now, why do I say this? You put in such a small dollar amount because it's only, again, 0.8% is going under FERS, RAE and FRAE. It's going to be a little bit more, but you're only putting in a small dollar amount. But it puts your foot in the door in this retirement system. That's the key part of this. We've all seen, whether it's state or federal agencies, change their retirement benefits over time. I like you having your foot in the door and what these benefits are probably means if you ever come back to work for the federal government, you're going to be able to pick up the same benefit package. Maybe it doesn't mean that, but it leaves your foot in the door for a very small dollar amount. In addition to that, the money doesn't go away. It's still your money. You're still in the system. Again, if you have at least 5 years, you're vested with this, so you're going to get some benefit out. Even if you have 3 years, I like to tell people leave the money in there. You never know if you're going to come back from the federal government. Again, someone's going to pull out a time value money calculator and put in the comments says, Micah, you're wrong. You could have all about this more money, etc. I get that. That's a projection, right, of what we don't know. We know what our current benefits are, and I like your foot in the door, especially when we look back over history. We see all the changes. Again, this is just my opinion. Take with it what you would like. But this is where it comes into really important about understanding how your benefits work for you, right? Not how your benefits work for somebody else. How do your benefits work for you? So make sure you're staying tuned when we're putting out these podcasts, we're putting out these FERS, federal fact checks, etc. You can take this information, apply it to your personal situation, because that's what's most important about this. If you have a question like this that you want answered, make sure you drop it in the chat, send it to us. We'd love to get your guys' questions to help answer them. Until next time, I'm Micah Shilanski, and this is your FERS Federal Fact Check. Happy planning.